Natalie, can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can hear you. Yes, I can hear you.
Thank you. How are you, my dad? How are you?
What is up, Simon? Good to
It's
see
just-
you, boss.
Yes. It's very good to see you too.
As always.
Awesome. Today. Awesome. Thank you so much. Can you believe it's already the 21st of May?
Yeah.
Yeah, before you know it. Okay, got it. Can't believe that the month is almost over. Who's leaving out of town this holiday weekend? Anyone going outside? Where are you heading out?
But Arizona,
Arizona, what part of Arizona?
honestly don't know.
Let's go to Arizona.
My girlfriend said that her family's having a quinceañera, and usually I say no because I like to stay at work. But I was like, I need to step back real quick and go
Beautiful.
see what Arizona's about.
Yeah, it's gonna be super hot for sure. Leaving out of town this weekend? Yes, sir. Where are you heading to?
Head to New York.
New York.
What's that?
Takes you out to New York.
Well, my brothers are out there, so we're gonna do a little family time.
It's his birthday.
Happy birthday. Awesome. Safe travel.
New York City.
Awesome. Just going out of town this weekend. What else? Going to see him?
This weekend.
Well, we got all the vacation here anyways. We got the beaches, we got the mountains. Awesome. Well, I appreciate you all for being here. We got some great stuff and also a great speaker. He's our newest regional director for the Southern California region. He's going to be here talking to us as well and provide you with some awesome stuff. You guys all ready? All right, let's go and get started. All right, next slide, please. Right, you know how we do it here in South Bay, our mission, our belief, and our vision to provide agents with a place where they will be empowered, trained, and motivated to experience growth, wealth, and a legacy that allows them to live their best life possible. Our belief. When the values of your own company align with your own beliefs, you know you found your professional home. And our vision to achieve amazing professionals and personal development so that KW South Bay remains the agency of. So give yourselves a round of applause for that. Let's continue. Next slide. Next slide. All right, again, Memorial Day, May 26th, in observance to Memorial Day, the staff will be off. Office will be open. If you have fobs, please know that you're going to need your fob on Monday, just like on the weekends, okay? Any questions regarding this holiday weekend, especially Monday? Okay, let's continue. Next slide. We also want to thank and welcome our newest agents. So we have Troy, Franco, Jade, Sergio, and Sabrina. Welcome to South Bay. Yeah, Sabrina, if you want to stand up and say something.
It's great to be part of Memorial. It's like really super nice to welcome me.
That's good, Bill.
Yeah. No, thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. I feel that you are a very, very good team, like a family. So that's why I'm here.
There's not Mayfield. I saw her last, Jade. Yeah, hi, Jade. Introduce yourself. Awesome. We Franco here. Franco, and then Troy. Is Troy here? Awesome. Well, if you happen to see him, make sure to give him a hot fly and let him know. Welcome to South Bay. Awesome. Thank you. Next slide, please. All right. Now we have our food sponsor, Redex, with Jonathan. Jonathan, how are you?
Hey, what's up, Simon? What's up, everybody? How are you guys doing?
Well, good. How are you?
Very good. Very good. Hey, Simon, for 2 seconds, I would love to share my screen so I can give some visuals here real quick.
Okay. Yeah, Natalie will handle that for you.
All right, cool. And while that's happening, guys, I'm super excited to talk for a few minutes and just give you the rundown on what RedX has been doing for many years and what's changed. Our industry is changing. The way we're communicating with leads, definitely changing. The answer rate is changing, right? Like people are not picking up as often as they used to with technology advancing. So I want to talk with you guys for a few minutes on what RedX is doing to change with those times. Um, we're modernizing our platform and we're making sure that it has all of the tools and bolts to move forward in the industry. So quick little heads up before I pull this up real quick. And if you could give me a thumbs up if you could see my screen. Can you see that there?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Thank you guys. So real quick, Jonathan with RedX. I've known Simon for many years. I've been helping real estate agents just master their duplicatable process that they have to put into gear every day for the past 12 years. And I definitely have a passion for helping agents just figure out what lead sources they're comfortable with and really how to get listings consistently. With the data that RedX provides, success leaves footprints, right? We don't have to reinvent the wheel. There was someone before, long before us, that mastered the steps, wrote out the exact process and objections that you guys would hear. And if we just make a commitment, there's no way that we won't get listings. I love KW. I've sponsored a Keller Williams Bold class in every state in the country. So I'm bold 1,000 times. And that's a fun Keller Williams accomplishment. So let me jump right into this, guys. Where are the listings? It's the average annual transaction goal for many of you, probably some of you right there today, is 24 deals throughout the year. That's pretty common. The number one source of listings for an agent is their SOI, right? Their sphere of influence, people who know them. According to NAR, the average number of transactions an agent does with their SOI is 5 deals throughout the year. And the real question I want to ask you is, how do we reach that goal of 24 annual transactions, right? This is a contact sport. And in my opinion, I want to contact high intent sellers who have a purpose for selling. And I just don't want to contact them the way everybody else is. I want to do things that differentiates me from my competition. Fair enough? Every single morning at 6 a.m., every one of the leads that you're looking at here on the screen, they filter inside the platform that we provide. For those of you guys who don't know what RedX is all about, we're going to give you everything you need to know about them. Names, phone numbers. We run all of the cell phone numbers through the do not call registry. If a property lists or sells, we remove it out of the system. We only want you communicating with people that you could realistically get an appointment from. So every morning at 6 a.m., you're getting a brand new batch of data. It's like a faucet that won't turn off. And it's easy to develop just a duplicatable process you could put into gear every day. So you're out there hunting, right? Not scratching your head, wondering where the next listing is going to come from. You're mastering scripts and objections, talking to sellers that are very, very likely to invite you over for a listing appointment. That's obviously what you should be doing, right? If you're not knocking on doors or, telling people that you're a real estate agent and you could help them buy and sell, this is where I would spend a lot of my time. Now, real quick, what's changed? Because a lot of you guys know RedX. You know that we provide data. We've been doing this for a couple of decades now. For some of you, that's not new to you. Some of you may not even ever want to call expireds or FSBOs, right? Some of you are thinking in your mind right now, like, that's not my cup of tea. I like the idea of getting appointments from them, but I don't know if I would call and go into that competitive environment. Well, check out what's changing with RedX and really where my clients right now are just unlocking a whole level of success. We've now developed a way to target all of the data that we're providing you, expireds, FSBOs, pre-foreclosures, with ads and videos on their Facebook and Instagram. Since we're giving you their names, phone numbers, and emails, RedX is now helping you create custom audiences with those lists. And we're targeting that data with whatever we want to put in front of them on Facebook and Instagram. And it's changing the game. Why, in my opinion? Because this is how people are thinking these days. They want to feel like they made the decision, right? So here's an example. Any expired that filters into your RedX platform will automatically see a video like this. Hey, if you're watching this video, your listing left the market unsold, and your phone is probably ringing off the hook, and that sucks. Here's exactly what I would like you to do. Number one, put your phone number on the do not call registry. Most agents won't call you once you do that. Number two, record a voicemail on your cell phone, letting every realtor know that you know your listing expired. And number three, text the number that you see on the screen, the word sell, and I'll know that you watched this video. And within 24 hours, I'll provide you an analysis of why your home failed to sell. No fluff. I promise I won't BS. You're going to know exactly why your home didn't sell. Just text the word sell. And every expired will see that. So that's what you could do with the system. And a lot of the realtors are getting good at that. They're getting people to fall into the buckets, right? That they want them to fall into, whether it's a landing page, a website, or a cell phone. So we're really excited that you guys have the ability to target this data. You could do that with all of your listings, your open houses. You could circle 1,000 homes around your new listing and target them with a video of that listing, or give them some information about your open house. And that's where our industry is going. So we now could target data on social media, and it's working incredibly well. Also, postcards. Within our platform, you can create postcards, so you can upload any postcard you guys already have. And we've built postcards for each for each lead source. So for 88 cents an address, you guys could send postcards to whoever you want. And this is really helping a lot of the agents that A, won't call them, and two, if they're on the do not call registry, right? A way to say, hey, look at me. And then lastly, the dialer. For those of you guys who know about using dialers, this is definitely something that I would suggest, right? Imagine your leads being targeted on social media, them also getting postcards, and then getting phone calls from you on the phone. There's no way they won't know who you are, right? There's validation, there's grind. They see everything that's happened, and and now you're on the phone. So with our dialing system, if you could see on the screen, we scrub the numbers against the do not call. So you never call any numbers by mistake. You'll see that right there on the right-hand side. And then it's just easy to load the dialer and repetitively call expireds for appointments. So I wanted to show you guys some things that are new, and what we're doing to help agents change with the time and obviously turn over stones consistently. Real quick, our prices are not incredibly ridiculous. In fact, they're really low. It's not expensive to say, hey, I'm going to hit expireds and FSBOs and schedule listing appointments with the data that's being funneled into my platform. We also have some crazy specials right now. Summer's coming up. A lot of real estate agents, get ready to go on vacations, and there's a lot of fun things happening in the spring and summer. But what some of you guys could do, most of you guys probably want to do this, get yourself prepared for the holidays and in 2026 and having some momentum moving into the new year. Text the word I'm in to this number, and I will send you all of the specials that we have with these products that you see on the screen. So we have different bundles, right, that help you save money. And I don't, whether you decide to sign up or not, that's great. But text the word and I'll send you the specials, and you can decide which works for you if you guys are interested. And lastly, before I head out, because I know I'm running out of time, we have a role play hotline for you guys. We want you to practice every day on your scripts, the objections, the process. It's important. So Monday through Friday, every day you can call in and practice your scripts and objections with us. We also have self-paced courses inside the platform where we just teach you what to say, right? Success leaves footprints, no reason to reinvent things. It's all laid out perfectly for you guys to take the training self-pace and use what you paid for. Because I know that we hate giving donations to a company and not using it and not benefiting from it, right? So guys, I really appreciate you giving me an opportunity to provide some lunch and hear what RedX is doing differently. Again, feel free to text this cell phone number on the screen. That's mine. And I'll just send you over the specials and you can consider whatever works for you and we'll chat a little later. But Simon, I appreciate you allowing me to chat with your group, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Let's give Jonathan a round of applause.
Thanks.
Awesome.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Very much. All right, well, let's go ahead and continue. Now for our main guest. Next slide. All right, please help me welcome Richard Schulman, the appointed regional director and one of Keller Williams' top producing agents, a Los Angeles native. Richard leads a national ranked team and brings unmatched experience in residential sales, investment strategies, and agent development across the country. So let's give him a warm welcome.
There's actually 2 more paragraphs I'm supposed to read.
It's actually 4 paragraphs, but I had to condense it.
Yeah, no one cares. Here's what we're gonna, hi everyone, I'm Richard Schulman. We have, how long do I have, sorry?
You got as much time as you need.
Careful.
Yeah.
It's a,
I know, right?
I can fill some time. Can you hold my sweatshirt for me, thing?
Absolutely. Anything for your
Hi, my name is Richard Schulman. I'm the regional director. I'm gonna tell you more about me, and what that job actually means in a second. Can everyone just take out all their cell phones? We're gonna do a quick activity.
Everyone take out your cell phones.
You too?
Me too.
Everyone, everyone is good.
I'm gonna write the.
Yeah, I have been to, Marie said, I'm like, are we gonna write a review? I've been to classes where they do that. Nick Walter does that. Go to Nick Walter, take out your phone, you review for it. If everyone take out your phone, I want you to text 7 people and ask them to meet you for coffee. Hey Simon, this is a easy script. I think almost everyone in here will be able to master the script. Hey Simon, do you want to grab coffee tomorrow or Friday? Today's Wednesday, tomorrow will be Thursday, and then Friday after that. Everyone got that?
Yes.
Don't text Simon unless a different person named Simon.
7 people?
7 people. You can do more, you can't do less. The goal is that you should get 2 or 3 appointments each for this by the end of the meeting. We've got, I don't know, 40 people here. That's not about right. 40 times 7 is, I like to do math with realtors. Realtors are really bad at math. Who can do 40 times 7?
Now when it comes to their admissions.
Yeah, right. You can multiply anything times 2.5 and no other math possible. Who can do 7 times 40 for me?
280.
280, guy in the front, got it. Give him the prize.
Where's Fernando?
Yeah. And there's 40 people times 2. You can get that one, that's easy. 80, we're gonna make 80 appointments in 40 minutes right now. That sound good?
Sounds good.
I did this yesterday in LA Harbor, and they said, oh, we're gonna do this every meeting. I said, duh, that's the point. All right, everyone got that going? All right, good. Let me jump in. Who am I? Richard Schulman. I joined Keller Williams. We were a no-name company almost 18 years ago at the LA West Side office in the basement with Rob Eicher, who some of you know. Breakfast this morning.
Yes, it is.
They're still around. We're both still around. 18 years ago, I joined KW. I came from another company, Prudential, now Berkshire Hathaway. I was on a delicious 50-50 split with no cap. And I decided that was not a good move for me. I went to meet Rob. Rob said cap, and I was sold right away. I walked, this is a condensed version, I'll have 40 minutes, we can go faster. I walked into the office, they had all the signs, the triangles, the books. I ignored all of it because I knew better than them, right? I was smarter than them. I didn't need anyone from Texas telling me how to sell real estate. I was a big shot. I had done $4.5 million in sales the year before that, and I didn't need any help. In 2 years of that went on, and Rob gave me an extra ticket. This is not going to ever happen to you, by the way, so don't ask for it. Rob had an extra ticket to family reunion in Anaheim, and he gave it to me for free. Like, this is not going to happen, so don't ask Taylor for that free ticket. He gave me the free ticket. I went. I got hooked on the training and education. Ever since then, my career trajectory has really gone up quite a bit. I hired a buyer's agent in 2009. 2011, I went to Mega Camp. I learned about showing assistants. I've been running a showing assistant model ever since then. We're not going to talk about that today, but maybe another time. I've run a large team in LA since then. I've been one of the largest teams across brands in the city, or the metro area, depending on how we're going to define it. Bigger than Hoffman Murphy is how I would say our team.
Yes.
That's number one way I would evaluate myself. Is that right?
Yeah, absolutely. No change here.
So I know Marie, but I told Marie if she's in the front, I'll bother her the whole time.
Yeah, ask me.
Yeah.
Don't worry, if it gets tough.
Or sat in the back behind the tall guy. I run a big team. I'm gonna tell you about my team. It's 18 people, 13 agents, 5 staff. We did 165 million in sales last year. This year we've done 110 million pending and closed right now as of today, which is better. You do that. But the other people didn't know that. So we're on pace to do 225 million in sales. The most important thing I'll say, I can talk about teams another time. I don't know if we'll have time today for that, but most important thing I can say about running a team is to run a team profitably. For anyone here run a team, I know soon very obvious. Anyone else run a team here? No. Honestly, one guy, was there a hand there? You're shy about it though. You're wearing the bold shirt and you did this. I'll tell you right now, I'm totally fine with them. Happy that the most profitable way to be in real estate in our market, our price points here, we're at what, $1 million average price point, something like that. Most profitable thing you can do is solo agent, 1 or 2 assistants. That's a great business model. That can be a great goal for everyone. Everyone says, oh, I want to run a big team. You do not. You do not want to, for some reason. Don't want to run a big team. You can make plenty of money, live a happy life. Solo agent, 1 assistant, 2 assistants, maybe a buyer's agent, maybe a partner. Totally fine way to do it. Running a team is a whole different business. So, anywho, with that, I didn't know anything about. I have been involved in KW. I'll get into it more. Great.
I know you are.
I'm going to talk till 1 o'clock. If you like it or not, it's 1 o'clock. We'll leave. Drive home. It's fine.
We have a timer, by the way.
Yeah.
Are you driving?
So yesterday I did 2 of these and I took an Uber, and then today I drove. I'm not a driver per se. When I Uber, I can work the whole time, so it's easier. So I didn't know much about KW, mechanics of KW. I had been in Austin a bunch. I had been involved a lot. I didn't know what the region was. I started saying, my friends in other regions, I know these agents in other states and regions, they have all these events. They have big training events. They have a guy or girl called a regional director who comes around and talks to them and helps them. And I said, we're not really having that experience here. I'm not pointing fingers at anyone, just observing that we had a different experience than other regions were having. I started complaining. What happens when you complain about something? If you complain, if you don't like something at the office, you complain about it, you better have a solution. Or that's going to be your job. I kept complaining and they said, fine. This is actually 100% true story. Now you're the regional director. You go ahead. I said, do I get health insurance? Like, yeah, let's do it. So they made me the regional director. I was the regional director in West Side LA for the last year, which are the offices immediately to your north, but not past Mulholland and San Fernando Valley. That's a different region. People from Texas made the regional map. It makes no sense. Everything below the Bay Area to the San Fernando Valley is Central Southern region. Everything from Mulholland to the 10 freeway is actually a little bit below the 10, which like the 105 is West Side LA region. Pasadena is in the Inland Empire region, so that doesn't make any sense either. Everything below the 105 to Orange County line is our region here, LA Coastal. We're going to merge those two. That doesn't matter to anyone. Below that is another region, Southern California region. And there's also, we have 6 regions here in California. There's 31 total in the US and Canada. All of Canada is one region. West side of LA down to the street has an entire region. Canada also has an entire region. They don't complain. They're happy about it. Anywho, so I'm now, as of last week, the regional director here in LA Coastal. What does that mean for you guys? Could be a lot, could be nothing. Depends what you guys want to plug into. At the end of the day, everyone here is responsible for their own output, right? We're all independent contractors, we're all realtors. Some of us chose to send 0 texts just now. Some of us chose to send 7 texts just now. This guy over here definitely sent 12 texts. Is that right? How many did you send?
Nah, I didn't.
Nope. It's always the front right guy. It's always the person right here. So who sent more than 7 texts? Right, or that's what, your outcome is up to you. Right, what I'm gonna do is basically 3 things, one of which is not gonna matter to most of you. Number 1, we're gonna be putting on a absolutely rock star, superstar training calendar going forward, right? Your office is gonna have training, right? You're gonna have, you're gonna have your office trainings. We're gonna do big regional level training. I'll explain in a second. Number 2, we're gonna be working on growing the commercial side a lot. Anyone here commercial? They don't come to meetings. I know this. No commercial? All right. I love the commercial agents. No problems from them. Just they hide in the corner
No
and
filters
sell.
either,
What's that?
and no filters either.
Yeah. That's they're great. They don't take any of your food and just hide in their office and make phone calls. Actually, I started as an apartment broker, and that's how I learned the business. We'll talk about that in a second. Third thing is I want to be a conduit to KWRI. The reason I know this wonderful woman here, Marie, is because we've both been in the Gary Keller Mastermind group for a long time. I don't even know, 14 years maybe.
Well.
That would be close to
We're both, yeah, 'cause we were
something like that.
2004.
Just say yes. They don't know any better.
I love saying yes to you.
14 years, right? Perfect. We know each other through that. There's a lot of opportunity for growth through KWRI. There's a lot of opportunity to use the KWRI platform to speak at mega camp, to speak at family reunion. The criteria is based on GCI. In our market, you have an unfair advantage on GCI. The GCI minimum, for example, is $500K for a solo agent. That's not a lot. That's $20 to $25 million in sales in a year. Is anyone doing that this year? All right, we gotta work on that. We gotta send more text messages out. It's higher for teams and groups. I think it's $1 million and $1.5 million for teams and groups. But there's a lot of opportunity through KWRI, which we were taking advantage of before. Did I say him?
No, not at all.
Picked on him before the pool, I'm sure.
Right. Maybe that was the case. No, way back. All
All right, good. There's a lot of opportunity there to learn and grow through KWRI, in addition to what your office provides, in addition to what the region can provide. So I want to be a conduit there. But the number one thing I want to do, number 1, 2, and 3, is really to focus on training. So I just got confirmation last night that Jason Abrams and possibly, so you guys know Jason Abrams?
Yes.
He's on stage all the time. He's going to come out here some point this year. We're aiming, hopefully August, September, October, to do an event here with us. Maybe with Stacy Herron, who's the COO of the company. Trying to figure all that out right now. We're going to be doing Bold or a version of Bold through a different company as well. Sometime probably in the fall as well. And then we'll also be bringing in some other regional level classes. Like we got requests for Quantum Leap. If you guys have requests for classes, they don't have a class they want that they haven't seen recently, like career visioning might be a class that we do here that's too big for the office to be on. It needs to be run by the region. So if you have requests, you can email me. I'll get you my contact info. Anyone have any questions? I just talked for like so long. Anyone have any questions? Okay, good. We're going to talk for 30 minutes about goal setting and lead generation. Does that sound good? I'm gonna change all of your lives right now. What part of the year are we right now?
Second half.
Close. No, sorry, you're right. Sorry, you said second. I thought you said second half. You're always right. Second half is correct. It's May 21st today. Right? That means a coffee date you go on from these texts. That might be a sale in July. July is in Q3, right? That's a surprise to a lot of people, right? Oh, it's third quarter right now. We're working our third quarter numbers. Who here, you can answer this as well with your recruiting numbers. Who here is at or above their goal for this year so far? Anyone? All right, we gotta work on our goal setting. Does anyone want to volunteer? I'm gonna give Maria a quick break here. We'll bring you back up for that. Who here has a goal that they feel comfortable sharing? Wants to be a participant in this? Otherwise, just be yelling at you for 42 minutes or something.
You got to volunteer up here.
I promise, it's always the front right.
There we go.
So how much do I want to close this year?
Yeah,
I say at least more than 10. I'm a brand new agent.
10 what?
Closings. I for sure want to help at least close 10 contracts.
For the
So,
calendar year.
seller or
What's the average price point? We gotta be, when we talk about goals, we're gonna be very specific. What's the average
$1
price
million
point?
in the South Bay? So
Okay, so you wanna have 10 million in closing. What's the GCI in 10 million in closing?
I need help. GCI.
Gross commission.
Gross commission. Oh, so 3% of that. So that's like 20,000.
3% would be 300,000 there. What do you mean per deal? For the whole, I'm talking about the whole goal. Have you closed
Oh.
anything yet this year?
No.
Okay. Let's talk about your goals. What are you gonna do with that money when you get that money?
Reinvested into real estate.
Okay.
Reinvest into being able to get more like business cards, more flyers, so, and reinvesting into putting it into my farm too, now that I have my farm.
Okay, so there's a lot, we can spend the whole, now we have 45 minutes of conversation about here. Let's work with this for a little bit. First of all, I want you to separate your goals. You have a lot of goals and they're in different levels of goals, right? And this is, we're talking right now, what's your name, sorry?
Joseph.
Joseph, we're talking right now, but I want everyone to put themselves, all of you who are too shy to volunteer, all of you in sales business who don't want to volunteer, think about yourselves in this conversation. I want you to separate your goals into a small goal, an immediate goal, and a large goal, and you might have a medium goal also, right? And the goals, as the longer term, the number goes up, right? I don't have a long-term goal to, do something that costs $1,000, right? I have a short-term goal to do that. That makes sense? So I want everyone to have a really granular short-term goal that they can think of that makes sense to them, that they're really in relationship with. Okay. And think about how I describe that in relationship. Who has a short-term goal and it doesn't have to be like noble. It doesn't have to be I want to donate money to charity. It's a great goal, by the way, obviously, but your goal, I did this with my team, and the first person who stood up said she wanted to buy an Hermes purse. I don't know what that was.
I know what that is.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a design of that. It's a design of that.
Only you would know that.
Well, you know what? She's prospecting every day real hard, and her sales are double where they were last year. All of last year is doubled so far this year for her. She is very much in. I said, "What's everyone's goal?" And everyone's like, I want to buy a Hermes purse. We made fun of her, obviously, for a few minutes after that, but the results were there because she is in relationship with the girl. Who here has a goal they want to share? Something granular. You said business cards. I think what is it? Business cards.
I guess for me specifically, like in my personal life, I want to quit my day job and I want to be a full-time realtor.
Okay, that's a great goal. It's a little hard to contextualize it with this way to look at it, but like that's a great. You probably need to have a couple of closings to be ready to do that. Might be your medium-term goal.
Okay.
Your short-term goal might be I want to make one sale so I can
Yeah.
invest in my business, and I want you to be very specific. These are the 3 things I want to do to invest in the business. This is what they cost. This is how I'm going to execute on them once I do that.
So in the next, what I'm doing right now is I'm doing open houses every weekend and taking
Okay.
a note on the good and the bad of my open houses and focusing on being good at hosting open houses. And then now I finally have my farm, so I have a couple lists of next others. So I definitely
Okay.
have a cold call. So right now my short-term goal is getting better at time blocking and scheduling my calendar.
So let's focus on goals as as a result. You're talking about the plan. I don't mean to be rude about it. I'm just trying to be very. This is how
It's
I am.
okay. I have thick skin. I appreciate the feedback.
All right. So I want everyone to have a really clear goal and a way they're going to use it, like what they're going to do with that money. That's the goal. Money is not, if you look at the front of the red book, which you have up there, it says it's not about the money. It's about the outcome of the money. So I want you to think, okay, I want to,
Close my first transaction so I could be able to reinvest into my
Right.
business.
and you're going to go home today and you're going to get granular about what that means. I want to do this, this, and this. This is what it costs. I've already looked at it, right? For the purse example, which we all agree was silly, she probably has, knowing her, she probably has a picture of the purse with the payment link printed out next to her desk, right? Does anyone else want to share a goal? Yeah, go ahead.
I want to have my first closing in the next 6 months.
Okay, well, that's a plan, that's not a goal. The goal is I want to make this much money this year, and here's what I'm gonna do with it,
I want to make at least $50,000
Why?
this year because I need housing.
okay? And do you have a specific plan for what that looks like? And we don't think, you don't get into too much detail, don't be like, if I make $50,000 and maybe that's $30,000 after tax, maybe it's called $25,000 after taxes and expenses. What am I gonna do with that money specifically? Does that make sense?
Yes.
I know what that costs for you and how you're gonna spend it, right? Okay, does everyone understand what I'm getting at here?
Yeah.
It's very specific about what we're doing. The goal isn't just, I wanna sell 20 homes, that's a round number. Or because the business planning clinic guy who came in November last year said 20, right? It's a very specific goal. Anyone have one more they wanna share? Short term. Vacations, really popular one, you guys can say, everyone's like afraid to say like super good. You don't have to be high-minded about it. Anyone wanna share? All right, we'll get to it. We'll get there one day. Marie, do you wanna share? Do you wanna buy like something for the garden?
Oh, like a personal,
Yeah.
well, I have I would say I have a business goal and a personal goal with a dollar amount.
Okay, what are you, what's your short term, what do you wanna do with the next sale? What's that gonna be for you?
Oh, well, I don't own the next sale. I mean, it's like a team sale, but we are returning that for our mailing.
Hmm.
So that's gonna cost us $2,900 a month. So that actually is probably gonna cost us 5,000 to the database as well. So I want every time we mail for that to generate 3 either listing or buyer sales,
Okay,
which probably.
what is Marie gonna do with that money?
Well, you're actually hitting, I don't do a lot of personal calls. It's usually like for the team.
But you make money, right? You're not volunteering your time with the team. You have to have a goal, and it doesn't have to be high, it can be lofty or not,
Right.
but I want you, the reason I want you to be really connected to your goal. Is because, do you like doing open houses?
Yes.
Does anyone here like doing open houses?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, okay, 37 votes.
Did one, I can't judge it. One.
Did you like it? Tell me the truth.
It's something, the house is nice, it's cool. I mean, there's a lot of waiting around.
Yeah,
It's cool.
wait till your 87th open house, then we'll circle back. Anyone here like prospecting? Anyone here like picking up the phone and calling people?
And so,
Of course, a new guy. You'll never know about that. The point is that we don't, these things aren't fun to do for the most part. These aren't enjoyable. It's not what we choose to do, right? We have to do these things to hit our goal. The reason I say that, right, I made some glares over here, leadership. I want you to be really clear. We don't have to pretend that every aspect of the job is fun. I always tell my team, I said, this is better than the last job you had for sure, right? Like this is better than the last job for most people. I want you to be really clear that I'm not doing an open house because I really want to spend 4 hours of my Sunday standing at an open house with like no air and meeting strangers and begging them for their contact info. I'm doing that because I want to buy an Hermes purse, right? Am I saying that right? Like you did.
Is it Hermes?
Yeah.
Hermes.
Okay. Well, I don't own one, obviously. But I'm not, I want you guys to just be really clear about, I'm not doing this because I just love the joy of picking up the phone and calling through the database. I'm not doing this because I want to go work on a mailer campaign. That sounds awful.
oh, well, I mean, I can, so I mean, personally, I'd like to be able to finish my house.
Okay,
And that's probably $150,000.
so that's gonna be, that's a great
really
segue. That's gonna be a medium, long-term goal. So you should have, Marie, a really clear idea of what does that cost.
Yeah, I do.
You should have a contractor bid or something like that. You should have plans, you should have a vision board, picture of it. Great.
Yeah.
So you know what's happening. You know that every day when you wake up and go to the office, part of the goal is I'm working because I want to make this next sale because that next sale will fund the mailers.
Yeah.
And the mailers will fund the next sales and those sales will fund the remodel. I want to be really in relationship with our goals because it's really important that we get clear on why we're doing this. Otherwise, we get stagnant, we get burned out. We go to work, but we're not really working, right? We're not really pushing and doing all the effort that we need to, right? Did everyone work as hard as they possibly could today?
No.
Who here worked as hard as they possibly could today? One guy raised his hand halfway. Okay. I am thoroughly connected with my goals. I was at Marmalade Cafe in El Segundo at 7:45 this morning, so I could work before my breakfast meeting. And then I sat there and I made phone calls, pacing around the restaurant. This is true because I have to make a certain number of calls and contacts every day to hit my goals. To come here, talk here for an hour, get in the car, drive home, and I'm gonna go be prospecting. On the way home, I have calls lined up, people I can call from the car, have those conversations to get to my next thing. Right, I'm thoroughly in relationship with my goals. Sorry, you had a question, and then.
Oh, I was gonna say my goal is to get rid of my bike, have to sell my motorcycle,
But why? And then what? And then,
to get that money to pay out debt.
okay, that could be. I want to change that goal to I want to prospect. A lot of people, debt is a really good short and medium term goal, right? So when I coach my agents on my team, we're often talking about I'm doing this because if I pay off this debt, I'm going to lose that that interest payment that I'm accumulating every month, right? That's usually for a lot of people, it's a very Dave Ramsey moment for everyone here. That's usually the first stepping stone in your financial journey, right? And that's for a lot of people. So thank you for adding that.
My name is Bashika. I have a question.
And you're a purse expert. What we're hearing.
Yes, it's not one of those. We're working on it. So question, what was the question? In your opinion, what is the criteria of a setting short-term goals? Like, I always say like measurable, so people can measure, but like.
Yeah, great question. Short-term goal, let's just run through an example. Vacation, especially right now, as we're coming into summer, is a really popular goal, right? So not in this office, but LA Harbor, they all want to go on vacation over the summer, right? Those LA Harbor people, goodness gracious. For a short-term goal, it's gotta be really actionable. Because here's the way I see it, is that no one in here said they worked as hard as they could this morning. Why? I know why. It's May 21st, been a really long year, stock market's up and down, rates are 6.5%, prices are still high, every transaction is challenging. Is this all accurate?
Yes.
Okay, I'm in West LA, I assume the market's not terribly different here, we're about 8 miles apart from each other, right? So this is what I'm seeing every day. I'm tired, you're tired, team's tired. This is when people get tired in the year. You need something that's gonna get you up working today. It's not your house remodel, even though Marie really wants the house remodel to be done. It's not why she's gonna wake up today and work as hard as she can on Wednesday to make it happen. Wait until Friday. You think if you didn't put in a good effort on a Wednesday, what kind of effort you put on a Friday? The short-term goal has to be something that's going to, let's say, manipulate you. So you have to self-manipulate into squeezing out that effort. Because I've watched people for, the last 21 years, I've watched people prospect on the phone. I see what happens, right? You come watch me prospect on the phone, call, talk, hang up, type a note, pick up the phone, dial again, right? So I want to make my calls and go home. And I watch other people. I had a new agent on my team. She's not hitting her numbers. I said, you know what, you're gonna sit next to me today. They never want to sit next to me. Right? I understand why. I'm not pleasant to be around. I get that a lot. I had her sit next to me. What do you think? I sit there, sit my butt in the chair, I'm making phone calls. Make a call, hang up, make another call. I actually use earphones, I don't do this, but it's okay. I type an email, I respond to a text, I make a phone call, the whole time working, like not getting up. She must have gotten up and stopped taking like 9 breaks in the first 2.5 hours. I don't know what's going on there. Maybe like 2 breaks is a good number. It was just everything was a stop. And it was like, she'd have a tough phone call and then just sit and stare at her screen. And it was like, you have to sit there and push past all that discomfort to make your calls. No one in here wants to make prospecting phone calls. I'm 100% confident of that. However, this is the job that you signed up for, right? Think about your last job. Did you like that job, right? Did everything about that job, was that amazing for you? No?
No.
Unless you're a jazzercise instructor. That's a great job. Everything else is not gonna be as fun.
Not highly paid though.
Well, that's a different story. Okay, short-term goals, medium-term goals, long-term goals. Medium-term goal, you may or may not have one. It's a little bit hard to be like, I will have a really solid short-term goal and I have a 150K. That's a long-term goal. That might take a year, right? You need something maybe in between, because you just can't be like every time you make a sale and be like, I want to buy another purse. So you might want to find a medium-term goal to help motivate you. Here's an interesting thing. I got this from someone else. They had a goal and it was a consumer item. They wanted a consumer item and they made the sales. And they needed 2 or 3 sales to make the consumer item, and they did it. And they decided not to buy the consumer item. They said, well, I worked too hard to turn my money into that, right? I think it was also a purse. I don't want to say it, it feels like all we talk about it, but it doesn't have to be that you go and make the calls and make the you actually buy it. You can also just take that money and put it aside, right? Your goal, 150K a year goal, in 1 year is $12,000 a month. So you might say, you know, I want to put 12,000 away for the remodel, right? You know, I'd rather have a little bit nicer remodel. I'm going to put 15K away this month instead of buying that thing, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I want to add one more thing, and then I want to talk a little about prospecting and lead generation. Is this exciting for everyone?
Yeah, very much.
Okay. When you come in, you're the new guy, you tell people they have to actually work harder. It's not a great.
You don't necessarily get the smile. Yeah.
I'm not getting a lot of smiles. Just that guy that he left. So I'll give you an example. This is maybe not going to resonate with all of you. Anyone have kids in school here? A couple of you. I have 2 kids in private school. I got an invoice. Instead of separating the invoice, they put it in one invoice. Just as a sales and marketing tactic, I think they just put it in separate invoices. I want you to understand how intuitive my goals are. I got the invoice for the bill for a whole year of 2 kids in private school, which, by the way, I love private school because that's a great place to meet people, to sell them houses. My 11-year-old, who's now the second one at this school, her first year in preschool, I met one client through her, and I did like 9 million in sales, and that paid for all of her schooling through like 8th or 9th grade. I figured it out. But that's how I look at school. School is just a lead generation opportunity with big upfront costs. I looked at the bill for the school and I thought, I'm gonna forward this to my wife to handle, so I'm not gonna do that. And second, I thought, I immediately said, well, I need 8 sales. My first thought, that's 8 sales. I didn't even blink, it was immediate, I saw the number, I'm like, 8 sales. Okay, I have motivation, I have to go make 8 sales to put these kids through school, okay? That may or may not resonate with you, that may be not what you're doing right now, but that's how I think about everything, right? Tell you one more quick story and then we'll change topics real quick. I have a rental property, I had a property manager, he was not very good. He screwed up something. It was gonna cost me like $3,000 to fix this problem, because I can't, hold him, he's not gonna reimburse me for the problem, doesn't work for me anymore. I have this bill for $3,000. I have the $3,000. I can spend the $3,000 to solve the problem. It aggravated me so much and so deeply, right? I think the initial instinct for most people is, well, I have the $3,000, I'll do it, or I'll put it on a credit card and I'll pay it later. I was so aggravated. It's my fault. I wasn't managing him properly. Maybe I should have let him go sooner. Maybe I should have done this. I said, you know what? This is my fault. I accept responsibility. I took on Marie.
May I hold your-
I did a lease, Marie.
Oh, my goodness.
I did a lease.
I'm proud of you.
And I sent the commission, I talked to somebody about lease their property. And I said, this is the percentage I would charge to do this lease, which was 3.5%, which are just random numbers, a high price lease. This will pay for the mistake I made. And I did that lease. And then we double ended it, so I made more money. But that's immediately how I thought, this is how I want to teach you guys to think about these things.
It's great.
Because ultimately, there's 2 variables that we all play with, right? How much time we have and how much skill we have, right? And my theory is that everyone in here is putting in as much time as they want to put in, right? Is anyone here not putting in the hours of work, not the quality, but the quantity of hours of work that they want to put in?
Yeah.
You're new, so we'll give you some.
And you got another job.
You're new too.
Yeah.
But everyone who's full-time and doing this for a while, I don't suppose that anyone in here, short of you having a personal issue that made you take off some. I don't suppose, are you gonna work any more hours the second half of this year than you did the first half?
Stay consistent.
Yeah, you're not gonna make a business plan where you're like, you know what, I need to hit more recruiting numbers and more production numbers, I'm gonna work 3 hours more every week, right?
Right.
You've already counted for that time.
That's right.
Yeah, that's the same for everyone. What you can do, not you, because you're amazing, but you, everyone out there who chooses to do better, you can work harder and more purposefully, or you can work with more skill. So we just spent a lot of time talking about the purposefully, right? How you come to work, you can come to work from 8 o'clock to noon, and Marie and I we look at our CRM. I just showed you my CRM.
Yeah.
And Monday morning, I run my team meeting for my sales team from 9 to 9:30, and at 12:30 we go to lunch. And from 9:30 to 12:30, people on the team make, on average, we have about 10 people prospecting any one day, pretty evenly distributed between 0 and 100 phone calls, and anywhere from a lot of people at 0 and up to 300-400 text messages and emails. They all have the same amount of time. They all choose with different purpose to do more. The first lady, she's gonna be famous. I keep telling the story. Mona, big numbers, big production every week, consistent, week in, week out, lots of dials, lots of outbound texts, right? Surprised that agents with low production, also low prospecting numbers. It's crazy, right? The other variable we can change is our skill. So as regional director, we're gonna hopefully change a lot of that skill by adding some more training events to you guys. Maybe it will help with the first thing too, but also it's gonna help you grow your skills when you actually make those phone calls. Now you know what to say. That was a lot. Anyone have any questions? Was it so well presented that there's no possible question that you might have?
It's- I mean, really, just personally, that's a huge aha for me. And Sue Murphy's been telling me that for a long
Who?
time, that my partner.
Oh, she's real
Hey,
estate.
don't, she's on, look, is she working? Yes. She just took a listing, she's selling, Laura, she's working, but I mean, that concept, Sue's been telling me that for a long time, like, where do you wanna go on vacation? What do you wanna do? And, it's usually, and I'm not saying this from, I wanna give myself accolades, but it's always about how can I make more money for the team, and how can we do that? But honestly, it's probably better for me to have some pretty strong personal goals and take some of that.
Making money for the team is a valid goal for you. Like that, your goal could be that I want to drive the team to a certain level of success. The success will trickle down to you. I mean, you make some amount of profit
Yeah.
and some amount of commission.
But I do think that you have to have a good combination of that. You know,
Yeah.
you have to have some real reason to go in and it's not, it's 6 o'clock and, I mean, cause like we have our director of growth here and, he asked all of us, looked at what our numbers were in follow-up boss, and it's like, it's not very high for me. Part of it is these conversations I have tend to be long. But.
I don't mind, you
Uh,
guys all know Marie, right? Marie's been successful agent for a few years now. As you progress in your career, like this is maybe a little bit granular for today's conversation, but like. My new agents have very large databases and super high call numbers, text numbers, outbound. And as you get more progressed in your career, I have 150 people in my database. I don't make 27 contacts a day anymore. I make 8 good contacts. It's fine because those people are transacting with me, right?
Right.
That's fine, right? The outcome is what's important. I'm on the phone all day long, but I'm having longer conversations more in depth with people because I'm in a relationship with them, right? I'm doing
The skill
multiple
set,
deals over a long period of time.
the skill set of what to say, though, I mean, we've worked really hard, like in the Phil Jones world and what we're saying, because if we end a phone call and there isn't good questions and there isn't the next step, it's probably not a very worthwhile phone call.
Let's wrap with that, because I want to get you guys out of here at 1, because now everyone's motivated, fired, and brimstone, we're doing a prospect, right?
Yeah.
First of all, I want everyone just to like quick recap. I want you to have a really granular short-term goal. Doesn't have to be, it could be debt, vacation, does not matter. I want everyone to be in a relationship with that goal, right? You have debt, what's the debt? How much can you realistically pay off from your next sale, right? If you're working a 600K price point, don't make a business plan based on $1 million price point, right? I have some agents that do a lot of volume at low price, but that's fine. I have no problem with that. Be really in a relationship. If you have a medium role, get in a relationship. You want to buy something, print out a picture of it. You want to buy a house next year or this year, print out a picture of the house. One of the person that came in one year, she I think 10 years. I got a pair of royals down in this conversation. She came in one year and she wanted to buy a new house. And she had it broken down to how many contacts she needs to make every day. She decided I'm not going to work Fridays, I'm going to work 4 days a week. She had to make 33 contacts a day, every day, Monday through Thursday, to hit her goal to make her house, right? Be in a relationship with your goal. Finally, we'll spend a few minutes putting that down. Let's wrap with phone calls, because I think you made a really good point. And I want to go back to that, and we're going to check out everyone's coffee dates. What's the point? Marie, don't answer this. What's the point of a phone call? Or a prospecting text if you're doing outbound texts?
Get an appointment.
Oh, there's 2 prizes for this guy over here. Does everyone hear that? I want to be really clear. And it's good if we can all say it. I watch a lot of people make phone calls for a long time. Every phone call, the point of every phone call is to make an appointment. If you're making a phone call and you're not closing for an appointment, you're making a mistake. This is a face-to-face business, right? This is a business where people hire us because they have a relationship with us, right? If we're going to be virtual, they can hire virtual, right? If you want to be hired, you need to be in person with them. That's why I had you guys all text for coffee. Just bring back to that in 1 second. The coffee date was just a simple close. Do you want to get coffee tomorrow, right? Yes, no, binary outcome. Guess what? If they want to meet with you, they'll probably say yes. If they don't want to meet with you, they'll probably say no. And either one is fine. What's the bold law? Yes makes you money. Who's taking bold? Yes makes you money. We got bold back here. No saves you money. If they don't want to meet with you, that's okay. Don't get hung up on it. They're not going to buy anything from you then. Great, no problem. Keep going. Okay. So every phone call is the goal of every phone call is to make an appointment, whether it's coffee date, property showing, it's a meeting, buyer consult, listing consult, whatever it is. Every phone call. It could even be, hey, it sounds like you're not ready to do something right now. Could I call you back in a few weeks, right? I had someone make a sales call. I love sales calls. You ever seen the movie Boiler Room with Giovanni Ribisi? He takes a sales call with the LA Times guy, right? It's good. You can play that. You're swearing it. I don't think you can play it, but
It's a good movie.
find the clean version. Just play the movie. I always take the sales calls. I took a sales call today. I love talking to them. I actually like to give them. I like to give them advice. They always ask, "How are you?" Come on. You have like 5 seconds to get my attention here. And she was just very firm. Can I call you back next week to follow up on that? I'm like, I don't think I can say no. That was such a good close. I said, okay. I'm gonna screen that call, obviously, but I'm not buying. I'm not buying from her, so I'm not gonna hurt her feeling. I'm just gonna save her some time. But it was such a strong call. I mean, it was so good. Just polite and firm. So anyways. That's what I got for today. Let's just check in on the coffee dates. You can now check your phones again. How many coffee dates? Who made one coffee date? Show of hands, one coffee date. 6 of you, good, all right, successful. Who made 2 coffee dates? I know, you're gonna be a big number, I can tell already. Who made 3 coffee dates? Are you guys familiar with the hand raising system? Raise your hand. Everybody, your option. This is not a hand raise. Can't see you. Raise your hand if you made 3 coffee dates. You had your hand up, yes?
Well, I did 7 total, but I just did.
Okay, so 7, okay, well, now you've ruined the whole game,
I
so,
apologize.
okay, who made 7 coffee dates? Okay, good job. Did anyone beat 7? Anyone beat 7? Are you a new agent? I don't know.
She's not a new agent,
No?
been here for a while.
Okay, who'd you text?
I text the young lady who's the bus driver. I text the coworker at SoFi. I text my supervisor. I text my sister who said no. And
I'm not gonna deal with that
and
problem.
two people from church.
Okay. That's actually an incredible bunch of random people, right? Just people in your life, right? That's the whole point of this exercise. How many people did you text total?
7.
Okay, 7 for 7. Pretty good. I guess my question is, why didn't you text 8 people? But I guess that's what I said 7. It's 7. So what's gonna happen tomorrow if you text, well, you might be busy tomorrow. What's gonna happen Friday if you text 7 more people, or Monday, you text 7 people? But who are you gonna text? You texted your top 7, right?
Yes.
Those are your top 7 people. Right?
Yes.
Okay, who's next? Your tier B friends, right?
I'll text some more people that I'm affiliated with.
Right. What happens on Tuesday? What happens if you get to the 21st person?
Keep going.
Do you see that discomfort? I love the discomfort, right? What happens if you get to like the 38th person?
I have to keep going.
You keep going. The point of this exercise is you all texted your top 3, 5, 7, 10. Probably, I'm gonna guess, I'm not gonna call anyone out. A third of you did not do anything at all. Is that anyone disagree with me there? So that's the most reaction I've gotten the whole time. A lot of you didn't do it at all. That's okay. If you have to do the work, it does work. When you get to down your list, right? The ones who did it, you text your top 5, your top 7. Maybe all of us have 5, 10, 15, 20 people we're pretty close with, not more than that, right? And would have more than 20 close friends. Right, that's a lot of, I don't even know 20 people I want to actually talk to. But when you get to 30s and 40s, you start getting to those people we forget about. And that's where the magic happens, right? Where you've sold hundreds of homes in your life. How many homes do you sell to like just that person you forgot to contact, right? That medium friend that you're just, I don't feel like prospecting my friend. I don't see them enough.
But did I call them? Or?
Did I call them? Yeah. And that's where the hidden sales are that we're missing in our business.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm almost done, sorry. We talk about, and I heard the Red X guy, I actually like the idea of just picking up the phone and dialing 500 people a day. It's a whole nother conversation. But we spend a lot of time trying to find clients, right? You want to do a farm, we want to go door knocking, open house to meet clients. We spend a lot of effort trying to bring clients into our world. How many people here have 300 people in their phone that are in this area, like roughly in our service area? Right? That most of you? Probably most of you?
Not in this area.
Like somewhere you can sell them a home, like they're not like in San Diego or Phoenix or something, right? Okay. Most of you, here's the reality. Most of you probably have 300 people in your phone who live roughly in your service area, right? And if you just moved here from another place, you might want to call Stu and Marie and see if the team has a spot, right? It's probably realistically, a team is probably your best bet if you're totally new to the area. But you don't need to spend all your time and effort going out and finding leads in the world. I was on stage with Gary at Nike Camp, a little humble brag there. Thank you. In 2018, and I heard the same thing. I said, Gary, you have 160,000 agents. If they all have 1,000 people in their database, it's not unreasonable. How many do you have in your database?
20,000.
Okay, I've got 42,000 people in my database. So to say we have a company of 160,000 agents and 1,000 people per agent in the database, it's not an unreasonable number. That's 160 million, right? I was not going to ask you that one. That's everyone. That's the whole country, right? The whole country is already in command right now, right? You don't need to go out there and spend all your time finding new people. Go out there and talk to the people you already know. There's no referral fees. So That's all I have for today. If you guys like me, I'll come back and talk some more about something more interesting than that. But anyone have any questions? All right.
Awesome.
Super.
Richard Schulman, everyone. Thank
Thank
you. In a handshake.
Thank you.
Thank you, Richard.
And I'll hang out after.
Awesome, awesome. Is that great?
Yeah.
So, well, real quick, let's just go through the motions we got. I know we're past our time, so I do apologize for that. So listing pitches, buyer needs and wants. Anyone want to pitch? Coming soon, new listings. Needs and wants, no one? Okay, let's continue. Next slide. Simon. Yeah. Oh, there it is. Yes.
The property that everybody went to, on Walter, still available.
Okay.
That'll get your buyers and stuff.
Beautiful. Awesome. Anyone else? All right, let's go. Continue. All right, upcoming events, negotiate repairs and credits, this Friday, May 23rd, 10:30 to 11:30. Please be here. It'll be also on Zoom and it will be recorded as well. Next slide. Minnie is going to be doing a lunch and learn, Google Build Your Brand. That'll be Thursday, May 23rd, 29th, 12:30 to 1:30 here. Please make sure to bring your laptop so we can get you all set up. Next slide. And then we have free headshot event. That'll be Tuesday, June 3rd, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Sponsored by My NHD and Jose Lopez. So if you want a professional headshot, come here, totally free. Next slide. And then just a quick reminder, we have King of the Hill. That'll be June 13th, a Friday from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. It's up in the Rolling Hills Estate at Ernie's Park. We already have our team set up, so we really need is just the cheerleaders supporting our offices. So there will be live music, lots of food, and just a friendly competition with our competitors. So we want to be number one. Next slide. And then for Father's Day, in honor of Father's Day, I will be flipping burgers, grill, chill, and close deals, that burgers and beers. That'll be Thursday, June 12th, 12 p.m. to 1:30. Yes, I'm gonna actually be flipping burgers. And all fathers and women as well, okay? Because I know sometimes moms can portray the father figure too. So everyone is welcome. Next slide. And that concludes our team meeting. All right.